So Christmas Duck. Christmas Duck is a fan favorite. He's kind of a mascot, I guess, and I think that's partly. Hi, I'm Steve Gaynor. I'm the co-founder of the Fulbright.
Hello, my name is Kate Craig, and I was creating a lot of the environment assets for the game.
Oh man, mom handwriting. We went through a lot of different.
Hi, I'm Chris Remo, the composer on Gone Home.
This is where you find the first half.
Hi, this is Corin Tucker from Heavens to Betsy. And Heavens to Betsy was a band that formed.
When you're putting like.
So these are all the VHS tapes, or most of them, in the house. And
my name is Sarah Grayson, and I do the voice of Sam Greenbrier in Gone Home. Currently based out of Portland, Oregon, so right around where the Fulbright comes.
So here's one of Dad's pulpy JFK.
One of our favorite movies is.
The doors were actually one of the hardest things in the game to get working correctly, and I know that there's still some bugs exist.
Here we have Fresh Magazine, which is.
Inside of this file folder, you find the first combination code in the game. This code goes to Dad's locked filing cabinet, and it's 0451, which is a bit of a tradition / in.
Most of the bookshelves in the house are. This is our old-timey record that we got from archive.org, source of all good things. It's.
I feel like one of the best bits of advice was actually from the Fulbright team before going in to do the first recording. And it was.
Composing the ambient exploration tracks definitely ended up being the weirdest part of creating music for Gone Home.
One of the larger assets that we needed for the basement to really give it character and personality was a furnace. And when we...
Oh man, this thing.
So two things. One, so there's a.
You know, there was kind of this intellectual, cross-cultural.
There's a little bit of.
Putback is the feature that I'm happiest with in the game. It actually came about as sort of a little bit of an accident. Playtesters had told us they didn't want to feel like some kind of horrible person rummaging around this house and tossing everything on the floor.
The music for Gone Home was mainly composed over two separate periods, roughly a year apart. A version of Part 1 of the game had to be ready by October 2012.
Fanzines, I mean, that's one of the things that we started doing right away, was doing these Riot Girl fanzines, and everyone would contribute.
So earlier in.
All of the sliding doors that you see in the game are actually, from a code perspective,
You know, it's really about the idea.
Writing Sam was a unique challenge, just in the sense of.
When you put out any sort of content about your game online...
So I'm Sarah.
For a long time, the kitchen was not going to be mid-renovation the way that it is.
Definitely the second half was.
Oh, you found an Easter egg!
Who found it?
You found it! This is the best! You looked up! No one in a first-person game looks up!
So that's.
I'd already played through the first full half of Gone Home before I started composing any music, which was really important to understand how the game felt and played and looked. But I didn't get a...
Really early on, we didn't really give Kate very specific... So you want to talk about this fucking jazz mug?
Nobody wants to talk about the jazz mug.
Well,
it's
except
the
for
worst.
Carla.
I hate it. It's the worst.
that was such a common theme
Yeah.
when we were like approving assets or making stuff visually for Gone Home. Is just like, oh my god, that's hideous. I fucking hate it. We're putting it in the game.
Yeah,
because like
so
just
much
like
of that.
awful '90s furniture and like
we see it in a secondhand store or like
or you
just
see
on
it in the
internet.
Sears catalog we bought, and it's just
true.
like that is. Yeah, the biggest purpose of the The Goodfellow High School jacket and the logo generally is a reference to the logo for Minerva's Den. The fact that there are speedruns for our game makes me really happy, and the fact that, you know, that the any percent speedrun, aka you don't have to pick up anything, just get to the end as fast as possible.
We never really discussed the idea of individually scoring each audio log ahead of time.
I had seen Bikini Kill and Bratmobile play their first show at the North Shore Surf.
Around here, so these are stereographic?
Yeah, I ended up being pretty happy with this. This is the only picture of line.
One of the assets that I really liked creating in the game were these board games. So there's 3 in total of them throughout the house. Ideally, they.
I was one of the hosts of the Idle Thumbs video game podcast for a year or two. Barfburger is enjoyed by all. A lot of Gone Home is about pointless interactivity.
Well, I mean, I've always, one of the most comforting things in the world to me is having somebody, like, brush my hair or stroke my head, like my mom when I wasn't feeling well. I could lie down in her lap.
The boxes of tampons that you can find in the washrooms around the house, they weren't originally on the list of items that needed to be modeled, but when you're creating a bathroom at that level of fidelity, and when you're...
The life cycle of the condom.
That's not a real thing.
One of my favorite things that came out during development was someone wrote an email mistakenly referring to mittens, and Steve replied in the voice of Katie, saying, "It's just Mitten. She's only one cat, Mom."
Another board game.
So there's a lot less density in the house than there would be in a real house. Like, if you look around your house, there's just junk piled everywhere, probably.
Maybe
like,
it's just our house.
I think it's most house.
Oh, you're right.
But, so, you know, our strategy was you either... Almost none of the events, the little events in the game, are scripted.
I really enjoyed playing Gone Home. I have to say it was pretty exciting to find the Heavens to Betsy tape, you know, because that was really, I mean...
Okay, the Wildfire book. Oh man, look at this thing. Yeah, this was another one of those situations in which I totally felt like a weird creepo when I was doing research, and there was a lot of really horrifying romance novel covers. This poor guy,
You want to talk about A Place for Christmas Duck?
this is where Christmas Duck goes.
I think this is one where I love the way...
It's one of those things where we had always wanted to... Well, so this is the last room in the game, or at least the last room